Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shoustel, and in today's video we're going to discuss the idea of rewarding donations. After a lengthy discussion within the Discord community, we have come up with several ideas to reward you, the donors. The link accompanying this video is to a Google Doc which will list all the possible rewards that you can request. As a quick note, you could add comments, questions, concerns, or anything of the like within this document. When you make the comment and when I'm able to get around to it, I will address what you have said. If you would like to discuss it at length, please join the Discord server. Please do note that this list could change over time. As the game develops, we may gain access to more options for you guys. Additionally, the prices may adjust based off of how many donations we are actually receiving. However, if you make a donation at a lower tier reward price, for example a $20 donation for a custom gun, and we have to raise the price to $50, you will be grandfathered in at the $20 price and get the custom gun that you donated for. Please note that it may take a while to actually get to all of your donations and have them within the game. We're at the very beginning stages, and as a result we can't actually showcase too many of them within the game environment. However, over the next few months we'll hopefully be able to address this and allow you to actually start seeing all the things that you donate for within the game itself. Scrolling down, you can see a table of contents. This will give you a brief overview of all of the donations that are presently available. As a reward for any donation, you will receive a special title and thanks within the credits of the game. Additionally, you'll receive your name in the credits of any of the videos that I create. There's a master donation list that I record everybody's donations. Additionally, you'll have my eternal gratitude. Without your donations, creating this video game would take a very long time. But through your donations, we'll be able to make it happen sooner and better. The first donation is for $5. This will allow you to submit any idea that you want to submit. You do not need to provide anything except for the $5 donation and what it is you would like to receive. This idea could be a whole alien species, a custom weapon, custom mech, or anything really for the game. At $5, it's up to you. This is a first come first serve basis and also sort of a raffle. Not all of the $5 donations will be able to make it into the game, but at $5 you can submit any idea that you have. If you do have a particular idea, I do highly encourage that you include concept art or lore for whatever it is that you're wanting to create. If you're wanting to create a weapon, you could do a basic hand drawing of what it is you wanted to create, or even a 3D model. If you have an idea for a character, you could also submit that. The possibilities are endless, and it's up to your creativity and imagination. Donations after the $5 point are a little specialized. This is to appeal to the community that wants to get things in that are specific to what they want. There are 3 basic tiers within this. A low tier donation for whatever category requires that you provide pretty much everything for it. If you create a custom gun, you have to provide the 3D concept art for it. If you provide a custom map, you have to provide the 3D concept art for it. The reason for this is that it is much easier to take a 3D concept art piece, polishing it up, and adding it to the game. It could take a very long time to create an art piece, and this will make it a lot quicker. At $20, this will appeal to anybody that pretty much has any 3D modeling experience at all. The more detailed you make it, the more likely it is to make it into the game very quickly. However, to appeal to the people that are just learning to 3D model, you just have to provide the basic 3D model and then any information pertaining to it on how you actually want it to look. Additionally, if you could provide lore for the weapon, that would be greatly appreciated, as I'd like lore to accompany every object within the game to the best of our ability. Next is the mid tier. This is for people that do not possess the 3D modeling abilities of the previous tier. However, at this mid tier range, it guarantees that whatever it is you are submitting will make it into the game. What you have to do is provide a 2D drawing of whatever it is you would like to submit. So if you're coming up with a custom gun, you need to draw it with at least a piece of paper and a pencil. The more detailed, the better. If you're able to do it from multiple angles, it'll make it easier for us to incorporate it into the game. Lastly is the high tier. These are really expensive donations, but they allow you to pretty much create whatever you want without the need for 3D or 2D art. All 3 of these ideas are, however, limited in scope. A low tier may only be limited to certain items, such as player weapons. A mid tier would have more access to more things, such as vehicle weapons. And then finally, the high tier would have access to things such as super weapons. The whole reason for this is to reward modders of the game for aiding us in creating content. The more content we can add to the game, the better. Eventually, I'd like to add a tier specifically for just creating skins for various objects. However, we need to have the objects before we can create the skins for those objects. The reason behind all of this is because it helps us add content to the game. It also helps me pay additional developers, and it gives me concept art that I can easily create and add to the game. The first category is custom guns. At the $20 donation level, you get a low tier custom gun. What this essentially translates to is you provide the 3D model, ideally some lore, and we get the gun added to the game. The reason you provide the 3D model is because it makes it easier on me to convert it to the game. The guns must, however, be semi-reasonable. However, they can be as crazy as you want them to be. So if you want a gun that fires acid, sure. If you want a Tesla gun, sure. You just need to create the 3D model for it and then provide the outline for how the gun functions. You are not limited to creating human weapons. If you want to create alien weaponry, you are welcome to do so. However, at this $20 low-tier custom gun level, you are limited to infantry and power armor weaponry only. Moving up, we enter the mid-tier at $100. At this tier, all you have to do is provide the 2D concept art for the weapon that you want to create. Additionally, you want to add some lore for the weapon so we actually understand how it is supposed to function. As a reward for the higher dollar amount, we also allow you access to vehicles, small spacecraft, and mechs. You can, however, submit ideas for infantry and power armor. Moving up to the last tier for custom guns at $1,000. This tier is for special weaponry that requires absolutely no concept art on your part. You do, however, have to provide the input on how it needs to look and function. This could be super weapons. If you wanted to create the Death Star, we could create it within reasons so we don't run into any copyright issues. We could create railgun platforms such as the Mac guns from the Halo series, or giant robotic sandworms such as from the movie and games revolving around Dune. The possibilities at this point are pretty much endless, and the reason why it's at the $1,000 reward is because we may not be able to accommodate a huge array of them. If you want, however, you can also submit ideas for the previous tier. Now, for a bit of explanation behind the price. At $20, you're pretty much paying for an hour's worth of work from me to work on the 3D model and get it incorporated into the game. The amount of time may extend beyond an hour and could extend to a week's worth of time spent on a single item. However, this will give me the opportunity to raise some funds to help pay for additional developers. The idea behind the 3D artwork is to make my job a little bit easier to add your ideas to the game. The mid-tier is pretty much very similar. You're paying for about 5 hours worth of work, and with 2D hand-drawn concept art, it should take about that long to create a finished gun, at least concept art-wise. Even if it doesn't get finished within the 5 hours, it will get finished. You do not have to donate anything additional. At the $1,000 reward level, it could take a very long time to create the super weapons, so we have to try to limit how many can be submitted. The next custom category is characters. At $20, you can submit the idea for any character you want that is not in a very high-ranking position. This is pretty much for common folk. You could submit the story for a badass space pilot, a renowned special forces marine, or a special operative infiltrator if you wanted to submit the story of somebody that was into combat. However, you could also submit ideas for generic farmers, shopkeepers, or pretty much anything that you would expect common people to fulfill the roles for. Moving up to the $100 level, you could start submitting ideas for people that are in less common positions. This could be a pilot of one of the colony ships, someone you would expect to be on the bridge of one of these ships, a special intel officer, or something such as that. It can also be very unconventional roles, such as a black site research and development team. And lastly, at the $1,000 reward, you could pretty much create the story for any character. If you wanted to create the president of one of the colony ships, you are free to do so. If you wanted to create the admiral of a fleet, you could do so. There are slight limitations available for humans. However, this extends to all previous tiers. If you wanted to create something for an alien species, you are free to do so. The position you create for it can be pretty much whatever you want, but we do not presently have too many alien species available for you to choose from. So right now, you are sort of limited to humans. However, if you wanted to create a whole alien species for use in the game, you're welcome to hop onto the Discord and start discussing it with us. The last presently available tier for in-game content is custom maps. At the $20 reward level, you're able to pretty much create any 100 meter by 100 meter map section that you would like to create. If you would like to create a bedroom on a spaceship, you can do that. If you'd like to create a reactor room, you can go ahead and do that. An armory, a med station, whatever. Pretty much as long as it fits within a 100 meter by 100 meter area, you're free to create whatever you want to create. If it extends a little beyond the 100 meter by by 100 meter area, that is okay, within reason. We'll try to accommodate as many as we can, as getting submissions here will allow us to have a lot of art that we'll be able to use within the game immediately, assuming it is textured when you send it to us. Going up to the $100 reward level, all you have to do is provide the 2D concept art, and we'll do our best to make the room that you are creating. It could be the same as the $20 reward level, but just 2D art. You provide a screenshot or a picture of a paper drawing with pencil, and that's a good start. We'll continue to try to work with you to make sure that you get exactly what it is you want. At the $1,000 reward level, all you have to do is provide your idea via text. Additionally, this extends to a larger area that you have access to. You'll be allowed to create a skyscraper that'll be placed on one of the colony ships. If you wanted to have access to multiple colony ships with this building, you would have to do multiple $1,000 rewards. So a large company might be able to donate $5,000 and have their building advertising their company on 5 of the colony ships. These massive colony ships will essentially contain small cities. If you wanted to create a museum of some sort, that's definitely an option. If you wanted to create an in-game arcade, you could do that. The possibilities are pretty much limitless what you have access to. Now, I know I said in the launch video I didn't want to provide physical merchandise. However, some discussion within the Discord community came up with some fantastic ideas and ways that I can reward you guys for your donations. We're looking at getting an SLA printer, which is a printer that lowers a print head into a pool of resin, and then lasers harden the resin as the print head slowly raises out of it. The print quality of these is phenomenal and will allow us to create some highly detailed miniatures for you. The cost of the low tier prints may change. The reason for this is because we do not presently know the material costs or shipping costs of such objects. However, if the prices do end up having to go up, you will be grandfathered in to what you paid for. Here's a list of some of the SLA printers that we are looking at. This SLA printer is the one that I'm looking at presently, as it has the largest print area for not too astronomical of a price. However, suggestions are perfectly welcome, as it takes a long time to properly research all of the SLA printers that are presently available to us. Additionally, we'll have multiple types of resin available to us, but what is available may change based off of which printer we get. However, I expect to have access to clear resin and pretty much a lot of the generic colors such as red, green, blue, white, and black. We do additionally have a position available if anybody is interested. If you enjoy painting minis, we'll end up compensating you for your time, and then you would paint the minis of people that have donated. At the low tier of $40, you'll get the 3D print, and then it will be shipped to you. It won't be painted, and it won't have any primer on it. At the $100 level, you'll get the 3D print, and it'll be primered. We'll likely be able to get a reduced price by buying primer in bulk. And lastly, at the $1,000 reward level, you'll actually get your model painted how you want. The availability of this tier is based off of any painters that we may have available. This price may go up or down based off of how many donations we actually get for it. If we don't get too many, then we may only need 1 or 2 painters. However, if we start getting a whole bunch, we might end up getting backlogged and may have to raise the donation amount or disable accepting this donation in order to catch up. So that pretty much sums up the donations. I really want to make sure that we fill this game out with a ton of content. Having been a modder for so long, I understand that the modding community can really make or break a game. I've seen games last many years past their prime thanks to modding communities. I've seen many games survive because the modding community kept it alive. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to message me or join the Discord and message me there. Just remember, this may change over time as we continue to develop the game and our development team. That's all for now. I'll catch you in the next one.